Hello! I am back. I'm going to be PvPing in this video, but I actually wanted to make a bit of a rant video talking about what my current thoughts on the game, the things that are happening, the event itself, you know, just basically everything. Now, this isn't meant to be like a negative video. Like I do have positives about the event that I'm going to share as well, but overall, generally speaking, I think it's fair to say a lot of people don't like the event, and I'm kind of in the middle. But yeah, I just wanted to talk. We're gonna be playing this Broken 6 team as I'm just yapping. But also I'm alone today, which is actually like the first time I've recorded a video alone in like a very long time, at least PvP video. But I usually like the PvP of friends because it's a lot more fun, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, in no way is this meant to be a video like flaming other people or like discrediting the devs or just anything of the sort. I just want to get my thoughts out there because I think the game is heading towards a bad place if it keeps going the way it does, you know what I mean? But first thing I want to talk about is recycled content. I was not a player of the game in the back in last year's Halloween event. I actually just joined the game, or just started playing the game at the very end of the Halloween event last year. So I have no idea what was happening back then, but you know, I do know that they still had the Wisps, they still had Pumpcat, I think. And I think there was also a Swarm turn-in thing. I'm not too sure about that, but generally speaking, every single event I've played since I started the game has had kind of similar content in general. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing if it's... Okay, this guy's a Scolipede. If it's, like, different enough. Lunar New Year was an example of a great event, right? And Lunar New Year was a really good event. I fully enjoyed that event quite a lot. And, I think that was a great direction that they took with events. But this time it was kind of... It feels like they focused it all into raids, and more on that later, but I did not like the raids for the most part. But one thing I do want to talk about is, like, this is the first year, as far as I know, where they didn't even update Pumpkin at all. Like, they didn't even touch it whatsoever, and it's exactly the same as last year. Which is kind of... I think that's really bad. Like, I think that's... There was no room to, like... What am I doing? I want to lead with Bertha. There was no room to, like, innovate in the Pumpkin boss. And, everything was pretty much just the same. Which means... There was no everyone already had teams that worked on Pumpkin. And everyone already knew how to do the boss. And I think that resulted in Pumpkin bags really being not worth grinding that much anymore. They were good for like a few days, and now they're just like already horrible. And from what I've been told, like that hasn't really been a thing before. So I'm gonna rock blast this. Oh shit, I'm the wrong set. I'm supposed to have SD, whatever. Or stealth rock, not SD. Whatever. We'll just play this entire video without rocks. Surely it'll be fine. But yeah, I think a lot of the content lately has been quite recycled. The birds being there, which are kind of annoying. And I don't think it was... I don't know. I do find the event fun when I'm... Do I? I don't know, man. Like, I keep telling myself that I find the event fun, right? But, like, for me, it's literally only Pumpkin that's been fun, and, like, this is also my first year doing it, so, like, I'm sure next year it's just gonna... It'll get old real quick, you know what I mean? So, like, I can't imagine being an old player who basically played this event already, doing the same thing all over again a year later, with basically no updates. Because that didn't happen to me. I was not here last year, and, I can totally understand frustration of people who have played in both, and, definitely... This guy's gonna go Garchomp here. I'm Swords Dancing. Watch this shit. Yeah, I'm gonna Avalanche now. Yeah, but so basically what I'm saying is that the content feels a bit recycled, and I think some things not being updated is pretty bad for the game, because it stifles innovation. Next, I want to talk about how expectations were set very high before the event started. Not to flame anyone, but it was Park who went on patch stream and said, yeah, this will be like the biggest update ever, and it was either biggest or most influential, maybe both, but obviously not flaming Park at all. Park's a cool dude. He comes into Spidge's stream and talks all the time. You know, he's a cool guy. But I think that was definitely not a good idea to say that, because clearly a lot of people are not very happy that what you were talking about is... I think you were talking about strings being removed and strings being kind of like standardized, you know what I mean? I don't personally mind it that much. I basically only... I don't really do many PvE activities outside of like berry farming I used to, and I kind of stopped berry farming a while ago because it just got boring and I found better ways to make money. But I can understand why a lot of people are very, very, very upset about strings. I'm just gonna Earthquake here. I think it kills. Oh, I'm hella wrong. Yo, I'm bad. I need to stop time sawing this guy because I'm like... I'm yapping too much. I'll just sack this here. Yeah, but I can see why a lot of people are very upset and don't like that strings were basically removed. It didn't really affect me much, I will say. In like the first few days after the update, the game felt extremely clunky to me because I was so used to using strings, and it felt awful to play, like actually fucking horrendous. But yeah, I think setting the expectations high like that was a really bad idea. And if you're talking about the Darkrai thing, whew, I think you're just wrong. Yeah, we'll get to that soon. Next, I want to talk about raids. So raids, I'm a little split on raids, right? Raids as an idea are really cool. The way they were done in this update, I think, were really strange, and they didn't feel as fun as they did in Lunar New Year. You know what I mean? Like, the Lunar New Year ones felt good to play. These ones kind of felt like just tedious and annoying. And I don't know if I'm alone on that sentiment. But dude, by the way, we like fucking lost. I'm gonna have to win this game with Scarf Galliot. I'm gonna Dragon Pulse this. I'm like not paying attention to my own game. I'm probably gonna lose all my games in this video because I'm just not good at paying attention or talking and paying attention at the same time. But yeah. So raids, they just don't feel as fun as they did. They feel kind of tedious and annoying compared to what they did in Lunar New Year event. Some of them were good. I really like the Hypno raid. I like how they introduced stuff like Inverse and for the Darkrai raid at the end, like the thing where it flips its special and physical, or flips special and physical moves. That's a really cool mechanic that I would never really expect for them to have been able to add, considering this is this game is built off the ROMs of Black and White. So it's really impressive that they're able to add stuff like that, because as far as I know, no other like ROM hacks or fan games are able to do stuff like that. I'm gonna Volt out into I guess Jellicent. We're probably gonna get burned, but I don't have a better play. Yeah. Some split on raids. Next, we could talk about Darkrai. Now, this is probably my biggest gripe with the event. I think the reward for this was absolutely horrendous. And I'm not trying to be too negative here, but this is definitely the thing I'm most tilted about when it comes to the event. I think people spent a lot of resources and a lot of money and a lot of time leveling or not leveling up, breeding and getting guys for these raids, expecting some crazy good reward at the end, and then it's just kind of rent the Darkrai for an hour. It's very I can't even think of like the right word. It's very underwhelming. And I think I'm using that pretty lightly. I'm just gonna try to recover here. I have to go Gallade and click Psycho Cut here. I have to catch his Amoonguss. Yeah, the reward is very underwhelming. Personally, I just don't understand why they even released it. A lot of PvE players also share the same opinion. And, sorry, I'm just thinking about the game. Yeah, a lot of people share the same opinion. I just don't understand why they released it, and it's literally not useful for anything. They say it'll be good in later content, but I can't imagine that it will be. And the reason why is because Darkrai in PvE is quite literally probably just worse Hydreigon in every way. That's not to say and that's not like 100%, but like people will definitely put too much value in legendaries. Darkrai is not that much weaker than Hydreigon, or not that much stronger than Hydreigon. Generally speaking, you can get away with a modest on Hydreigon and a lot of PvE features, because it's already fast enough, you know what I mean? So like Darkrai kind of adds nothing to that. You can get a little bit stronger, but like for example, if I wanted to use Darkrai and like Pumpkin, it would still hit the damage cap the same way that Hydreigon does. So like there's no point to using it. And it's not useful in gym runs. It's not useful in anything else. It doesn't get any good like supporting. There's no place to put it, right? There's no reason to use it over what we already have. And I think that goes for actually a lot of legendaries that they could add. For example, Arceus. You might be thinking, wow, the god of Pokemon? Wouldn't the guy be broken? Dude, I don't know what gym rerun team they use nowadays, but I think there used to be one with like a Togekiss, right? So you would think, oh yeah, like Arceus would definitely be good in gym reruns, but it wouldn't. It wouldn't. The current gym rerun team is already the best it can possibly be, unless you add like fucking Kyogre or something with Eruption. Like, not even Heatran. Heatran's too slow. Maybe like Primal Groudon, right? Like it's not. The gym reruns are already solved for what it's worth. They can't really get better unless you add something that can replace the current damage dealers, which are the Water Spout and Eruption guys. And you know, Arceus does not do that. I think I lose, by the way. Now it does get like Hyper Voice, which is like cool, but it's also the same special attack stat as Togekiss, so it's like they're kind of the same. They do the same exact thing. I guess Arceus is bulkier, but like as far as I can tell, whenever I did gym reruns when I first started this game, my Togekiss basically never got hit, so like it doesn't even matter, right? Obviously I'm not saying they should add Arceus. They absolutely shouldn't add Arceus, but it's just as an example, you know what I mean? Like, it's just people put way too much faith in these quote-unquote super powerful legendaries like Darkrai and... Oh, this guy's using eject button. Wait. This is kind of like the theme I used. I just realized. But yeah, people put too much faith in these guys like Darkrai and other legendaries, whereas when there's literally Pokemon that we have that are better than them in PvE already. Another one I usually see is Landorus. Landorus is completely outclassed by things like Excadrill, things like Garchomp. I can't... There's no reason to use it, especially because it'll just make the game slower by having Intimidate. It really doesn't make too much sense to me. I just lose here, so I'm just gonna mash until I lose. But yeah, like Landorus would not be that good in PvE. It would pretty much be outclassed by other ground types we already have. I see a few arguments for Heatran as well, like, oh yeah, Heatran will be better than Typhlosion in gym reruns. It won't, it's too slow. Typhlosion already has some problems with being outsped, I believe, and Heatran is definitely not going to help there. I'll just forfeit. I don't know why he's doing this. He definitely could have just Thunderbolted me twice. You couldn't even lose if you were banded there. If I was banded there, like, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. People put way too much faith into legendaries. And I think the reward is basically a huge slap in the nuts, because it gives us literally nothing. And by the way, I think this guy behind me is botting, because this guy has been going up into this guy for at least 20 minutes now. So everyone say hello to the botter. This guy is absolutely botting, like, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, next, I want to talk about the Chief Sosa video that he released earlier today. I watched his video, and that basically inspired this whole video. He made a lot of good points. He talked about how... Maybe I don't. Actually, I don't... Just go watch this video. I can't explain the things he said better than he did. So, I'm just going to link his video in the description. I think you should watch it. He made a lot of good points. He could have been a little nicer, but he did make a lot of good points. And, yeah, you should watch his video as well. Next thing I want to talk about is how the devs just clearly don't care about PvP at all. Today, there was a bit of an update on the PvP, right? Gallade is finally being suspect tested, or being considered for a ban. And in the post, let me lead with something real quick. I'll just leave Bertha. In the post, I can bring it up right here. They say, let me make sure you can see this. You can. Dear PokeMMO community, we are pleased to inform you that after a long discussion regarding Gallade issue in OU, and after several months of waiting, we have finally been granted permission to open a voting process. You're telling me that they had to wait several months just to get permission to open a vote? If that is not the biggest proof that the devs do not give a fucking flying shit about PvP. Not even that. Like, the devs don't even know anything about PvP. They don't know shit about PvP. And they just kind of don't let people do it for them. You know what I mean? Like, it's so tilting, and it's so obvious that they just don't care. But they... I don't know. They really don't care about PvP, and it triggers me to no end. I'm gonna go hard jealous in here. And I don't think there's a single argument to be made that can prove me wrong on this. Like, I'm not even trying to sound like, oh yeah, I'm right. I'm obviously right. It's just like, there's literally no proof that they give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, they have always kind of ignored PvP as a whole in terms of, content, and I mean, just look at the PvP rewards, man. You know what I mean? And look at randoms. Randoms players are fucking drowning. Like, they've been neglected for so long. PvP rewards are absolutely fucking horrendous, garbage, trash, shit, and the state of PvP in this game is very sad, and it's clear that they don't really care, considering it takes months just to get permission to open a vote. And I don't even think there's an argument that can be made against this. Like, legitimately, I think they're cooked. You know what I mean? At least in the eyes of PvPers. Like, it's just so... I don't know what you're supposed to do. It's so annoying. Dodge a leaf sword, that's nice. Next, I want to talk about is toxic positivity. Chief Sosa brought this up in his video, and I was like, yeah, that's like literally spot on to what I think is going to bring the game down a bad path. Now, just so we're clear, I am talking about Petrowski here. Petrowski, if you're watching this, I love your content. I think you're a cool guy, and I watch your streams and come to your streams and talk to your streams all the time. But I do think you are the embodiment of toxic positivity. Now, I think being positive about things is obviously a great thing. You should always be positive about things when there's a reason to be positive, you know what I mean? Even when things are bad, things are looking bad, you should always try to stay positive. But I think being positive when clearly so many people are rightfully upset is very bad. And I think it's a dangerous precedent to set. In Chief Sosa's video, he's a little more mean about it, but he talks about how you know, maybe the devs see that him like, you know, being super positive about everything, and then they just take that as people always being like very happy with what's going on. I think that's a very valid point to make. You know, I think, you know, Petrowski has a very firm grip on the community. You know, he has a very large what's the word? Range? No, that's not the word. A large following, why can't I think of the right word? He has power, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. You know, if I think Petrowski could make big changes to the game if, you know, if he bitched about it enough, you know what I mean? Oh shit. Oh, I went to Hydreigon by accident. Oops. But actually, we don't even need that guy, it's fine. But yeah, I think Petrowski has a lot of power in the community, and he kind of uses it to be always positive, which is not a bad thing on paper, but when things are clearly going wrong, when a majority of the community is upset, and you're still trying to be positive, I think clearly something is wrong, you know what I mean? Something is clearly wrong, and still trying to be positive through it isn't a bad thing, unless you're, like, kind of forcefully trying to, like, project that idea onto others. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to be like, I'm trying to get my thoughts on the table, and I can't figure out what I want to say here, because because I really don't want to flame anyone. I love Petrowski. You know, he's a cool, awesome guy. I've even done a video with him on his channel. Like, we did random battles. Like, it was cool as fuck. It was fun. But I do think toxic positivity is a problem. I think it could potentially lead this game down a very bad path. I don't know why this guy's staying in. Can I even post this video in the PokeMMO Discord? Because, like, this guy's AV, I just realized. Are they gonna, like, fucking ban me for, like, criticizing? I'm not even trying to be, like, super critical either. I'm just, like, I'm kind of just talking, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I've seen people on the forums get, like, warned or even... Actually, I don't know. Warned, banned from the forums. I don't really know. But I've seen people get in trouble on the forums just for stating their thoughts, you know what I mean? So maybe I won't post this video in there, but hopefully I don't get in trouble for this. I don't know. The game is very they don't seem to take kindly to criticism a lot of time, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't know. I think I just think the path the game is going down is a very bad path. There's not much I don't know. I don't think there's much else to say. I mean, like, so actually, no, let's talk about the good things about this event, right? The good things, the things I like about this event. I don't want to bitch the whole time, because there are things I do like, you know? One thing, I guess, this might be a cop-out, but I really like the cosmetics that they introduce. I think they're all really good. And I think cosmetics are a huge part of an MMO. I think it's very important to have good cosmetics, you know what I mean? That being said, it is kind of, you know, how they make money, and some may say it seems like that's the only thing they care about, and some may say you're right, some may say they need to just keep the servers online, and I say it is actually very cheap to upkeep servers. So, I'm a little in the middle. I don't know. I think they definitely make good cosmetics, and I like that, right? I can't say for sure if they only like do this for money. Sometimes it seems that way, sometimes it doesn't. I'm just gonna stay neutral on this, but I do like the cosmetics. So, yeah. Next, money making. I think it's really good that you can just make a lot of money in this event. I think it's good in any event. I've had a lot of fun doing the pumpkin over and over, which sounds crazy, but like, you know, it's enjoyable to a certain extent. Unfortunately, it's kind of bad now, just because like everyone's kind of already spammed the shit out of it. But I did enjoy it while it lasted, and I think there's also a lot of other good ways to make money in the event. You just have to grind, and if you're not really a grinder, I totally understand. But yeah. What else? What else do I like? Some of the raid effects were really cool. I already talked about this with the Darkrai and Hypno ones, but like I think some of the effects that they're adding in the raids are like pretty insane. Things that I would not ever expect this game to be able to include. And I think that's really awesome. I think being able to like do things like inverse mode, being able to swap the physical and special attacks, that's like really fucking cool. I think that's promising for like later, for things that may be like released later in the game, like more content. Like imagine like, I don't know, like I can't think of anything like Battle Tower, but like, you know, the game mode is fucking randomized every time between like, you know, inverse and move swap and fucking double battles, triple battles. You know, I don't know. It's just a thought. Not exactly something like that, but I think it opens the door for a lot of content, and I think that's cool. But yeah, is there anything I could think about? I'm not good at really just getting on video and talking, as you guys have probably noticed by now. I'm not really a good talker. I usually do good when I'm with other people in video, because it's a lot easier for me to say what I want to say and think, because they bring up good points as well, and then I can expand on those points. And I don't know, I'm just bad at talking alone. I've never really been good at talking alone, but yeah, I think that's about everything I want to say. We'll finish this PvP game and just go from there. I'm gonna go zap those here. Let me think. I guess one thing I'll mention is that the devs said, I don't remember where they said this. Someone probably has a screenshot to this. I don't on hand, but the devs like said like a few months ago that like a Gallade answer would be introduced with raids. And I mean, granted, we don't technically have raids yet, but like there's definitely room to put a Gallade answer into raids, you know what I mean? And we just have not gotten one. And at least now they're like voting to ban it, but like it's a little crazy that they kind of, I want to say lied, but like they just didn't really follow up on what they said. I don't know. I just think it's very disingenuous to the player base, at least the PvP player base. But like I said, I don't think they really care about PvP, which is really unfortunate. This game's taking way too long. 48. Let me think of something else to say. I'm just gonna say in. I think he U-turns. Oh, another good thing, Scolipede. I think it's small, but, you know, giving us something is nice. Granted, it's not an amazing Pokemon by any means. It's not gonna change the OU metagame that we all so dearly fucking despise. But, it is something. Oh, you know what? That's something I didn't talk about. OU, that is fucking horrendous right now. It is actually, like, so... It's so bad. Everyone knows that if you want to play OU, the most optimal way to play OU is just to play stall. It is so free, so easy, and so broken. Stall is absolutely fucking disgusting in this game. It is way too good. There is not much counterplay to... Oh, this guy's a life orb. Holy shit. I think I can roost. I think I'm okay. I kind of want to 6-0 him. Fuck. Okay. Well, I died. I think he might have crit me. No, I just died. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. Stall is broken. Everyone knows it. It's, way too powerful. Stall is not supposed to be able to win every matchup, and yet in this game it does. In every single archetype, Stall just has a decent matchup, and that's not supposed to happen. There's little to no real counterplay to a lot of the Stall teams that they run. Let's try to pull up an example after this game. I'll just psycho cut here. After this game, I'll try to pull up an example, but yeah, there's not a lot of counterplay to Stall in this game, and a big reason for that is because moves like knockoff are still 20 base power, and there's just not a lot of progress makers in the game. Obviously, the number one thing I'm going to bring up is Heatran, but I understand why Heatran isn't in the game yet. It's a pretty big mon to just drop, and I completely understand that they just might not want to drop it yet, or maybe at all. It's hard to tell, but it is quite a big guy. Yeah, Heatran's a great progress maker in Pokemon, and we just don't have a lot of progress makers in this game. There's no knockoff to use good, or well, at least. This guy's still botting behind me. It's kind of funny, honestly. But let's see. Madara 6-6 versus Dugsy. Okay, no stall here. Well, there was a Weezing. Weezing is another thing I want to bring up. Weezing is fucking broken. Weezing is so absolutely broken. This thing should not exist. And it completely... I don't think people use it enough for me to, like, really complain about it too much. But, like, it is definitely a broken mon, I think. This guy's using Blastoise. Cool. I'm just trying to find a stall game. Me saying stall is too broken and rampant and then just not being able to find one. Oh, no. Not like this. Not like this. I will say, almost all the teams I clicked so far have looked very similar. This is a randoms game. This is not stall. It's kind of bulky, though. 12 minutes. Oh, that's a randoms game. Fuck. Is there actually no one playing stall right now? No way, right? No way. I try to make a point and then just no one is playing stall. That's, like, so crazy, right? This is actually insane. 13-minute OU game? Oh, yeah. That was the bottom of the ladder. That doesn't count. Well, I guess no one's playing stall right now, so never mind, I guess. Man, of course, one time, not even one time, but you know what I mean, right? Like, I try to make a point and I just can't prove it, but everyone knows stall, very, very broken. Probably, maybe not too common, but I do feel like I fight stall in this game more regularly than I've ever played in any other game. And I think that's a bad thing. I think stall, by its nature, is very... It shouldn't be common. It shouldn't be very common, at least. And I don't know. It's a very... I think it's a problem. I do think it's a problem. In this game, it's too hard to break. There's no good ways to make progress. There's nothing. Anyway, I think that's all I wanted to say. If you made it to this point, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me bitch for 35 minutes. Holy shit, it's been 35 minutes? That's crazy. Yeah, I probably could have done this video better if I, like, did it with, like, a script or something, but I just didn't. I wanted to talk from just, like, the heart? No, not the heart. I mean, maybe the heart. I don't know. I'm not trying to sound cringe, but I just wanted to talk and it to sound as genuine as possible. You know, these are my thoughts on the game, and I think it's genuinely taking a bad path. And I like this game. You know, I want this game to succeed. I think this is the most promising MMO in Pokemon MMO by far. It has such a good, insane potential, and I feel like the devs kind of wasted a lot of times. But yeah, anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for watching. If you like my content, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.